Our next slide will assist you within your club to create intramural teams, find volunteer coaches, and assist you in deciding to have scores and standings.
Ours is done randomly. We do try to honor some requests of, if we have requests of players wanting to play with friends, and they also look at the distribution on the ages, on the date of birth, so you don't have all the older towards the older kids on one team and the younger kids on the other.
That's good. I like that idea.
Yeah, because we're so small, ours are co-eds, and we do them 2 years at a time. So it's Kiwis, it's 4 and 5, 6, 7, and so forth. We distribute then, similar to what Dave was saying, by age. Make sure we have, if we're doing an 8 and 9-year-old, that we have an even 9 for boys and girls, and an 8 for both of them. So it's even across the board. We don't take any requests because it used to be a nightmare. And we have set nights. It's pretty militaristic in the sense that the schedule's the same every season.
Fred, is that your feeling too? I saw you smiling.
I'm smiling because we do randomly selections, but we still go crazy trying to honor requests, so that Johnny can play with Jimmy.
How about you, Mark Siebert?
Same thing. The big one we put on is carpool, but carpool ends up meaning friends wanting to be with friends half the time. But we try to go by requests and kind of then just divvy up by ages. Yeah. When we get in the groups, when the shift changed to birth years, and we had some kids turning 5 playing U8, we try to mix them across the board as we did the older ones.
Makes sense. How about you, Ian?
Yeah, we sort of go as like a 3-pronged. It's more of a very similar to what David said in terms of the older players, and then we also have a ranking system that we work closely with age group commissioners who are working with the coaches, and then we also go through, because our highest number is probably our U8s and U7s, so we have a supplemental academy, like an additional almost like a hybrid between the travel and the intramural. So we do a lot of that, and we mix up the academy players evenly across the board.
Okay. How about you, Mark?
Yeah, we're very similar to Westmont. So we go first on player rankings, secondly age, and we've had a good response on the player rankings. It's a bit of a pain to manage, but I think we had 87% response from our volunteer coaches the past full season. It's sometimes hard for coaches to understand what a quality player is, so we kind of create some criteria, but sometimes that's a little bit hard for people to grasp. And then we do one matching friend request, regardless if it's a family requesting a specific coach. If that coach has a child, they have to directly request the other family as well.
Have any of you thought about just going, instead of going ages, go with grades within your intramural program to keep the kids together in the same classes?
We used to do grades until the age shift for travel. That's how we used to do it. The grade shift or the age shift for travel, we got parents who were upset because there was all kinds of confusion about it. So we switched over to make it all one process, so the kids that would transition from intramural to travel were used to it.
Let me ask all of you one real quick question. If I had a real small club and I'm running intramurals, would it make sense to go the grade route as opposed to the age? You think?
I would agree. Yeah.
Okay. Because I think what's going to happen is once we show this, a lot of smaller clubs are going to try to come up with how they're going to run their own rep program. So I was thinking that too before I asked these questions. How about your coaches? Are they?
Mike, hold on. How many small clubs don't have a rec program? It sounds like you're implying that certain clubs don't.
There may be clubs that don't. They have a rec program, but they may not have an intramural program. When you get up in the Northeast, they call their little travel teams rec teams.
Gotcha. You're talking up in Northeast. Gotcha. All right.
Same thing in Lancaster. Their teams are rec teams. They travel within Lancaster. the
Right.
league that Lars runs.
But
Got
yours, John, is strictly within the club, right?
Mine is strictly within Octorary. Yep.
Okay.
School grounds.
Two quick questions. You keep score or have standings, and also, are all your coaches volunteers? Anybody can respond.
We do not keep scores, but for our two older age groups, we do have the last weekend of the season. We run it in a tournament format. There's no seed-ins or anything. They just play off until there's a winner. And all our coaches are volunteers. However, the younger ages do have a paid trainer / organizer that kind of oversees everything and gets it all kicked off at the same time.
Any other clubs have that same thing, by the way, before we keep going on?
For Penn Manor, we do at the U8 level, we do the same thing with the tournament. We keep score, but it's not known. The club keeps it, and then depending on teams, we try to, if we have 8 boys teams, we put the 4 better teams together and the 4 lesser teams together, try and make it competitive. But nobody knows scores throughout the season unless keep track on the sideline.
Anybody
We
else?
don't. All of ours are volunteers as well. We do work with the union. We did last year. We're doing stuff with JT and coming in as extra help. And I'll bring in trainers from here to there to educate the coaches as well. We do not keep score. We have an end of season tournament in the spring that is just round robin, and then we run a tournament in the fall for folks to come into that EPYSA helps. I don't want to say sponsored, but basically that's it.
Just the festival that we help put on.
Mhm.
Mark, Thomas?
Yeah, we don't keep score U6 to U8 divisions. U9 through U19, we do keep scores. We have an end of season internal event. It's something we may push to the older age groups, but currently we have standings for 9s through 19s.
Okay. You guys who have the older teams, are your teams, any of your teams co-ed?
Yeah.
We're
Everybody?
gender specific.
Yeah, Westmont, we run
Westchester.
Oh, sorry, Mike. You go.
Yeah, we have separate divisions, boys and girls, middle school age group and high school age group.
Okay, so they're not co-ed at all?
No.
Not at all. Anybody else?
Our intramural stops at U12 or U13 because everybody goes and plays school ball.
So you guys were saying that, no, we don't have co-ed. Obviously, you have enough players to run it with the older ages.
We have co-ed, Mike.
Go ahead.
YMS has older age co-ed, JV and varsity, they call it.
How's that work out?
I think it boosts the numbers. Like that's why they do it.
Dave, can I ask you a question about that?
Go ahead.
When you say co-ed, are you talking like 3 girls per team and 12 guys, or are you talking 50-50?
I don't think it's 50-50, but it's not like an adult league where there's a token number of female players. The registration split.
Okay.
How about training? Do your teams train on the same night by age? Anybody who doesn't do that?
Westmont does a schedule. So basically, we'll have the carpools, and then they'll generally go on those days as well. So we collect those, and then we build the schedule off of that. And then we also have an application that goes out, and the coaches request 3 certain times, locations, and days. And we run Monday to Thursday, not Fridays.
Before we keep going on, how many practices do you have per week for your intramurals?
1.
One? Every week, one? Okay.
Mike, we run a supplementary program, so players are in the recreation program if they want. Staff coaches run sessions. We run an optional 5-week program through each season, fall, winter, and spring. We get about 80 registrants for each season.
Is that just an extra training once a week?
Yeah, extra training once a week.
Okay. Anybody else do something like that?
Yeah, we do that. We do it free of charge for the U5, 6, 7 age group and U8 on a Friday night. That's why we leave it open.